Hey guys, so as you can see, this is going to be the first video I've posted on this channel, whereas normally I'm posting on TikTok or other social media platforms, but I figured I'd give it a little bit of a different, I change it up a little bit. So more or less what I'm going to be doing on this channel is basically what I already do on TikTok, which is as I'm working on my white truck, aka my 91 OBS, which I know some people get upset about saying, OBS on a truck like this, when truth be told, the later 90s, the 92 to 96 model is an OBS, true OBS Ford. To me, OBS is just old body style. And in my honest opinion, that's anything pre 1996 or 1997 for the 250 and 350s. However, what I'm more or less going to be posting on this channel is as I'm doing stuff to this truck, detailed videos, stuff like that, stuff that I find interesting or that you guys might find interesting, I'll be posting on this channel. So as of right now, I'm obviously recording on my phone just because it's what I have available as of right now. I don't really have a camera or anything fancy like that. So if you guys want me to swap things up, I gladly can. However, for the time being, my phone is just gonna have to work. Now, as it comes to editing videos, I can use my phone to edit, but I'm probably not going to for the first little bit. Or if I do, it's gonna take a lot longer for me to put videos out, but I will do what I can. I may eventually invest in a video editing software from my desktop and start uploading the raw footage. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Anyway, so some of the things that I kind of want to start doing, first and foremost, is wheels. These are aluminum 15 by 10. They came off of a older model Dodge from what the guy I bought them from told me. And this is the condition that they were in after sitting for a while on this truck with these tires, just due to the fact that I haven't had, actually this truck hasn't ran in a while. It has not been on the road full time in a little over a year, just due to various problems and other issues that I've had. However, I've taken a little bit of time, as you can see, and done a little bit of work on this rim, just this little bottom section. I did get it fairly decent. It's not great by any means, but it shines a whole lot better. And I think what I'm gonna do is spend about a day on each rim, getting it sanded down to where it is completely bare metal, and going through the whole polishing process that I do. And I know that there's a lot of other methods, but this is just showing y'all how I do it. Now, if I take a light to it, as you can see right there in the center is one of the deeper gouges that Walmart, ironically enough, left on this tire, or this rim, I should say, when I had the old tires that were on here, which were some old Mud Dog 35s or something like that, and they were quite disgusting, if I do say so. And I've since got these General Grabbers, which obviously once the truck progresses, I'm going to get bigger tires, because I do have a lot planned for this truck, which I'm pretty sure I grabbed the wrong cloth. Oops. But anyway, but more or less, right here is the main problem area. This is a fairly deep gouge that my fingernail gets stuck on. And I know it's going to take a lot of sanding and a lot of time to get these back to what they should be, but I'll go through an in-depth process and show y'all just one tire. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to take it to a tire shop and have these 35s taken off so I can have just a rim. That way I can kind of set it up on a platform, be able to spin it around and not have to worry about the valve stem or the lug nuts or anything like that. But I'll see what I can do with what I got. I'm also going to look for some center caps, something that looks fairly decent that can go over everything and I don't have to worry about seeing just straight axle. As for the body itself on the truck, I eventually plan on finding a donor body and completely replacing the entirety of the outside of this truck. Because obviously over the years, I've dented the truck up, which I beat this one back out best I could. And really the only way to get this back smooth is Bondo. And that is my one biggest pet peeve about a vehicle is Bondo. I cannot stand it. Just for the reason of it's not the true truck, which I have dents. That obviously, that was where I got T-boned. This truck's got a lot of history behind it, just with me owning it. And as you can see, I didn't do a great job on the paint, but from a distance, it looks good. So, the truck is a 1991 XLT Lariat. So it has power locks, windows. It had a bench seat in it, factory AC, factory heat. I have since ripped out the AC. Heat still works quite well, if I do say so. And I put these aftermarket gauges in, which, step in here real quick. It's just simply a water temp gauge, oil pressure gauge, and voltmeter gauge, which I do plan on taking the volt out and putting a different sensor in. I'm not sure if I want to go with an AFM gauge, air fuel mixture, or air fuel ratio AFR gauge, or if I want to go with the trans temp gauge, as this truck has an AOD transmission in it with a 5.0 block. The other thing is the windshield. Obviously I need to get it replaced as it is beyond cracked up, and it does make me a little sad because this is my first truck I ever owned. It's had quite a history behind it, but as time goes on, I'm obviously going to fix it up, get it to where I want. Now, the other thing I want to point out is I can zoom in pretty far with this camera. However, unless I change the recording, I can't zoom out. And I hate that because it actually kind of gets rid of the quality some. So I want to put the best quality videos I can up. Anyway, DNA headlights from Amazon, as well as a aftermarket set of taillights on it. You see there's bumper sag that I need to fix. And my 5.0, which I currently have to remove due to the front freeze plug on the head. It has a hole in it, and it's just not worth trying to fix. I'm just going to rip it out, tear the motor apart like I have this one over here, build it a little bit, and then throw it back in the truck. But that is for a whole nother day. Pair of long tubes with Super 10s. The truck as of right now is 2-wheel drive, and I probably am going to keep it 2-wheel drive, and there's a reason behind it. Truck is lifted 6-inch on the suspension, 3-inch body, which I know everybody hates on, but honestly I've had no problems out of it. My old Bronco had a 6-inch lift with a 3-inch body and never once gave me a single issue, not even rolling wise. Now, I also have a 2-inch front level, which if the camera would pick it up, it's down there at the bottom underneath my spring. So the truck technically in the front is lifted 11 inches total, which, if I remember correctly, yep, it's sitting just below 11 inches. Which I know the camera's not going to want to focus, of course, to figure. But 9 inches in the back, 11 in the front. It does sit level, which is a big pet peeve of mine as well. But once I get some time on my hands and a little bit of extra funds built up, I'm going to completely rip the chassis of the body off, bare frame, pull it up here on my work area, which is a 20 by 20 carport. Eventually I'll have a shop, but that's way down the road from now. I'm gonna rip the entire out body off, bare frame, motor, and transmission. Take the bumpers off, obviously, and I'm gonna do a fully custom built 4-link inspired suspension lift on here with coilovers on both the front and the back. I want this thing in the range from anywhere from 12 inches of total lift suspension to 24 inches of lift total. That is my goal. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it 2-wheel drive. Now, if you know anything about these OBS Fords, I'm going to say OBS Fords because they really didn't change the design a whole lot over the years until you get into the earlier models. is the front I-beam. Wishbone suspension. I've heard it called a couple different names. That truck over there has it, as well as this truck has it. And my other truck, which is a 4-wheel drive, has a TTB setup, twin traction beam. It's just the 4-wheel drive variant. So I believe that is the Dana 40, if I remember correctly. But I'm going to be just completely ditching that. If anybody has lifted some of these 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive trucks, more on the 2-wheel drive side, you'll know that it is a pain going anything above really a 2-inch level kit, 4-inch or 6-inch lift kit. You run into problems. The alignment gets all weird. Parts start wearing out faster. The I-beams will give you problems with moving around. You go to back up and your tires will slant top in, so I believe that's camber in. I don't think that's camber out. I can't remember the terminology to save myself, but I'm going to completely ditch that. And the suspension idea I have, just due to the fact that for the time being, I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to show blueprints. I'm not going to show what I have in mind. All I'm going to say is it's 4-link inspired. I'm not necessarily going to be doing a solid axle, but if I find a deal on a Dana 44 solid axle 5-lug from a 79 Bronco or F-150 in that year range, I'll probably swap it in and do a 4-link with coilovers. But until then, I'm going to keep it 2-wheel drive just because it's unique. I've never seen anybody lift a 2-wheel drive like this higher than 8 inches on suspension alone. So I think it would be a first. It would be cool. And if anybody's seen differently, by all means, tag me. Other than that, more or less, I'll just be posting videos on this truck, videos on that truck out there, and my red truck, which, like I said, is not here. And I hope that I can help any and everybody with their build, especially these trucks. I'm more than willing to answer questions about it. If you're wondering what I used for anything on this truck, the setup, the wheels, the axles, the motor, anything like that, I'm more than willing to answer questions, because I don't see why people hold out specs on their trucks, which I say that after I just said that I was going to make a fully custom lift, but I'm not going to show it. The main reason why is because I have a feeling that this is going to be so unique, and I could be completely wrong and completely taken back on it. I've never seen anybody do it on these trucks, or on any truck for that matter, for a 2-wheel drive, lifting it up that high on a custom lift. I don't want my ideas stolen or copyrighted or anything like that just yet, until I have perfected it to where if somebody does copy it down to the hundredths of an inch, or thousandth of an inch, I won't have to worry about anything happening. It's more of a safety concern. So I'll go through all the kinks and all the troubles to make sure that it's safe. I'm going to try to keep everything bolt in. The only modifications are going to be to the front I-beam itself. The stock radius arms, stock radius drop brackets, the stock I-beam drop brackets, springs, shocks. The rear end may get welded onto. However, I have not decided that yet, and I have not checked the geometry of the leaf springs to see if I can do something in line with the leaf springs. That way it bolts up and can be taken off. I want to have this truck to where if I have a day where I'm just thinking about it and I'm like, I want to take this truck and put it back to stock, I can. For the time being, I can't. So I'm not too terribly worried about it. But that is for another day, for another struggle. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or comments, I know I blabber on quite a lot. I'm very guilty of that. That's who I am. I love talking about trucks and projects and all that. I did also polish the toolbox just a little. This was a half job. I didn't really put all that much effort into it, just due to the fact that I was on a time crunch at the time. But besides that, If you guys want to see more than just me working on this truck, or just my red truck, or just the OBS truck, OJ front end, I'm more than willing to show the whole process. I've got 2 tractors here with plenty of attachments that always need work. I'm actually in the process of getting this trailer redone to where it is completely able to haul any and everything I want, which that will be probably a longer process, as I have a very long list, starting with tires, axles, the frame, the runner boards, top deck, repaint the fender wells, lights, the whole 9 yards. I've already replaced the jack on it. And then behind that, I also have another project, which I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up all that well. This is an old boat trailer. It's about 25, I think it's 20 or 25 feet from receiver to the absolute back. It might be 30 feet. I can't quite remember. But I will probably be turning this into a flat deck to either haul stuff around on or have it as a mobile workshop. That's just another project that's way on the back burner. I got bigger things to worry about. So besides all that, this is more or less what I'll be posting on the channel. Probably not me talking half as much, and more of me showing what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what I'm using, stuff like that. So one of the probably next videos from my digging up, there's the OEM grill for it, it's probably going to be ripping this motor back out and getting it torn back down apart so I can see what all's wrong with it and where I need to improve. So until then, if y'all have any questions or any comments, just let me know.